The story of Egypt is written in stone, and nowhere is this story more captivating than at the Temple of Philae in Aswan. Imagine, if you will, a jewel box of a temple rising from the waters of the Nile. This is Philae. For thousands of years, it was a place of immense spiritual power. It was dedicated to the goddess Isis, one of the most beloved figures in the ancient world. Her worship spread far beyond Egypt's borders, reaching the shores of Greece and the heart of the Roman Empire. Pilgrims traveled from all corners of the known world to visit her sacred island, seeking blessings, healing, and a connection to the divine. This temple wasn't just a building, it was a destination, a beacon of faith shining brightly in the southern frontier of Egypt. Philae's sacredness is deeply rooted in one of Egypt's most powerful myths, the story of Isis and her husband Osiris. Osiris was a great king, murdered by his jealous brother Set. His body was dismembered and scattered across the land. The heartbroken Isis searched tirelessly for every piece of her beloved. Legend tells us that this very island, the original Philae, was where she found his heart. This act transformed the island into a place of profound significance. It became a symbol of resurrection, of life triumphing over death. The ground itself was considered holy, a place where the barrier between the mortal world and the divine was incredibly thin. It was a sanctuary of eternal love and rebirth. This island sanctuary was so sacred that a popular belief held that no birds would fly over it and no fish would swim in its waters, out of respect for the gods. The ancient Egyptians called the island Ptolemaic, which means the end or the remote place. It marked the southern boundary of their world, a final outpost of civilization before the wild lands of Nubia. To stand on Philae was to stand at the very edge of order and chaos. Priests performed daily rituals here to maintain cosmic balance, ensuring the Nile would flood and bring life to the land. The temple was a vital engine of the universe, a place where human action could directly influence the gods and the natural world around them. The temple we see today is a breathtaking complex of pylons, halls, and sanctuaries. It is a testament to the enduring power of faith. As you walk through its gates, you are stepping into a story that has been unfolding for millennia. You can almost hear the echoes of ancient chants and the rustle of priestly robes. The air feels thick with history, with the hopes and prayers of countless generations who came here seeking solace and wonder. Philae was the last bastion of the ancient Egyptian religion, with its doors only closing in the 6th century AD. It represents the final beautiful chapter of a belief system that shaped one of the world's greatest civilizations. The story of Philae is also a modern epic, a dramatic tale of rescue against the odds. In the 20th century, a new threat emerged, not from a jealous god, but from human progress. The construction of the Aswan Low Dam in 1902 began to submerge the temple for several months each year. Visitors would have to explore its halls by boat, gliding through the tops of columns that peaked above the water. But a greater danger was coming. The plan for the Aswan High Dam in the 1960s meant that Philae would be lost forever beneath the newly formed Lake Nasser. The world faced the prospect of losing this irreplaceable treasure. It was an unthinkable tragedy. In an unprecedented act of global cooperation, UNESCO launched a monumental campaign. It was a race against time. The world watched as engineers and archaeologists from many nations came together with a single, audacious goal: to move the entire temple, stone by stone. They had to save this pearl of Egypt from the rising waters. The project was incredibly complex. First, a cofferdam was built around the island to pump the water out, revealing the temple in its entirety one last time on its original home. It was a moment of incredible tension and excitement as the full scale of the challenge became clear. The world held its breath. The rescue team meticulously documented every single part of the temple complex. Each of the 40,000 blocks, some weighing many tons, was carefully numbered and cataloged. It was like the world's most important and high-stakes jigsaw puzzle. The stones were then painstakingly dismantled piece by piece. They were transported from the sacred island of Philae to the nearby higher island of Agilkia. This new island was carefully landscaped and shaped to resemble the original setting as closely as possible. It was an extraordinary feat of engineering and historical preservation, a testament to what humanity can achieve when it works together to protect its shared heritage. Finally, the temple was reassembled on Agilkia Island with incredible precision. The project took nearly a decade to complete, but in 1980, the Temple of Philae was reborn, safe and sound in its new home. Today, as you approach the island by boat, the illusion is perfect. the temple appears to rise magically from the Nile, just as it had for centuries. This incredible rescue ensures that the story of Isis and Osiris and the beauty of their sanctuary can continue to inspire visitors from all over the world. It is a powerful symbol of our commitment to preserving the wonders of the past for the generations of the future. Walking through Philae Temple is like traveling through time. It's a place where different cultures and eras meet and merge in the most beautiful way. The main structures were built during the Ptolemaic dynasty, the period when Greek kings ruled Egypt. So, while the temple is dedicated to the Egyptian goddess Isis, you can see a fascinating blend of styles. The grand pylons and massive gateways are purely pharaonic in their design, meant to impress and intimidate. But look closer at the details, and you'll see the influence of Greek art in the elegant proportions and the more naturalistic way some figures are carved. It's a unique cultural conversation carved in stone. This blend becomes even richer when you consider the Roman influence. After the Romans conquered Egypt, they too came to worship at Philae. Roman emperors like Augustus and Trajan added their own structures, including the beautiful and elegant kiosk of Trajan, one of the most iconic parts of the island. They had their own names carved in hieroglyphs, presenting themselves as traditional pharaohs to win the favor of the local people and their powerful gods. You can see depictions of Roman emperors making offerings to Isis, Horus, and Osiris, just as the pharaohs had done for thousands of years before them. It shows how adaptable and enduring the ancient beliefs were. The walls of the temple are like a giant storybook, covered in intricate reliefs that tell the central myth of Isis and Osiris. You can follow the entire narrative. Here is the scene of Osiris's murder by Set. Over there you can see the devoted Isis, depicted as a bird, magically conceiving her son Horus with her resurrected husband. And on another wall, you see Horus as a grown man, a powerful falcon-headed god, finally defeating his wicked uncle, set to reclaim the throne of Egypt. These stories weren't just decoration, they were active parts of the temple's magic, ensuring the triumph of good over evil for all eternity. This fusion of cultures is what makes Philae so unique. It is not just one temple, but a collection of chapels, halls, and gateways built over nearly 1,000 years. You have the main temple of Isis, the beautiful temple of Hathor, and the aforementioned kiosk of Trajan. Each structure tells a different part of the island's long history. It is a place where Egyptian traditions met the Greco-Roman world, creating something entirely new and breathtakingly beautiful. Philae is a powerful reminder that cultures can enrich one another, creating a legacy that is greater than the sum of its parts. It stands as a celebration of shared human history. The Temple of Philae was more than just a place of worship. It was a center of ancient wisdom and secret knowledge. The priests of Isis were renowned for their skills in healing and magic. Inscriptions tell us about complex rituals performed within the temple's hidden chambers. These ceremonies were designed to channel the protective power of the goddess, to cure sickness, and to ward off evil forces. Pilgrims would come seeking these divine interventions, hoping for a miracle. The priests used sacred texts, incantations, and potions in rituals that were kept secret from the outside world. Their knowledge passed down through generations. The temple was a hospital for the soul as much as a house for a god. The ancient Egyptians were also master astronomers, and the temple's design reflects their deep understanding of the cosmos. Inscriptions found on the walls contain detailed astronomical knowledge, mapping constellations, and tracking the movements of the stars. This wasn't just for curiosity, it was essential for their religion and daily life. The calendar, festivals, and even the timing of important rituals were all determined by celestial events. One of the most important was a sun alignment. On a specific day of the year, the rising sun's rays would penetrate the main gateway and travel down the temple's central axis to illuminate the inner sanctuary, symbolically bringing the statue of the god to life. Visiting the temple today is an experience that engages all the senses. The journey begins with a short motorboat ride across the calm waters of the Nile, with the temple gradually appearing on the horizon like a mirage. As you step onto Agilkia Island, you leave the modern world behind. Walking through the grand colonnades and shadowy halls, you can run your hands over carvings made 2,000 years ago. It's a deeply personal and moving experience. But the most magical time to visit is undoubtedly at sunset. As the sun begins to dip towards the horizon, it bathes the temple stones in a warm golden light. This golden hour transforms the temple. The reliefs on the walls seem to deepen, and the figures of gods and pharaohs almost seem to stir in the soft, fading light. The heat of the day subsides, a gentle breeze comes off the water, and a profound sense of peace settles over the island. It's at this moment that you feel the true spirit of Philae. It's easy to understand why this place was considered a gateway to the divine. For anyone interested in history, mythology, or simply in search of beauty, the Temple of Philae is an unmissable destination. It is a place that captures the heart and stays with you long after you have left its sacred shores.